For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Telling you guys a bit of a review video on a updated product, or to be fair, brand new from Outdoor Revolution. So with me here today, I have the Outdoor Revolution Kalahari PC 7.0 SE. I know, it's a lot of words, but let me break it down for you. So Kalahari is basically the name for kind of the polycotton versions of the Airedales. So it's a really nice free zone tent, sleeping, main living area, and a front canopy that's very, very premium, but essentially it's a 7 berth version, hence the 7.0. And the SE stands for side extension, i.e. what we have here. So it's a double berth side extension. In many ways, this is almost the polycotton version to the Airedale 7 SE. But with a few extra features thrown on top, as well as, of course, the polycotton material. It's a model that's been around for a few years now, and it's been a big update for the 23 season going forward. First thing, of course, is the fact that now the side extension is actually inflatable rather than a pole, but there are numerous amounts of extras on top of this. So let's get back to the core basics of the tent itself. So we've got this polycotton fabric, so it's a breathable material. So on a warm day, like it is today, when it's scorching hot, it'd be a lot cooler inside, so perfect going abroad or even in the UK, you wouldn't notice a difference between it. So the weave on a warm day expands, allows air to pass through, and then on the cold days contracts and keeps the warmth in. So it reacts to the temperature. Not only that, you have a longer lifespan with it, so it lasts you probably 2 to 3 times the length of a normal polyester tent itself. Other things to mention, the fact that obviously it's a better material. It does come at a cost, in terms of it being more expensive because it is that more durable and better fabric, more natural, known that synthetic kind of flapping noise, but naturally in its bulk, size and weight it does increase and get bigger because it is a more substantial fabric. As I previously mentioned, you've got the 3 zones throughout it, not including the one on the side. But what you also have is kind of Outer Rev's oxygen tube frame. So it's each beam is done individually, and you can see from my own Attwoolls pitching and packing video, I pitched this tent on my own in the best part of about 13 minutes. So for something this big, brilliant for one person, and it means you can take this in theory away for a weekend, let alone kind of more of a week pit trip away. You can, if you want to, make it even bigger. So there's a zip located on the top here, which allows you to add almost a front extension onto it, which basically is going to be the whole front built on exactly again. So that is an option if you need be. You do get some obviously guide points with easy pullers, and around all the pegging points it tends to be like a webbing strap, so you can get additional tension in without having to re-peg the whole tent itself. You can buy additional sort of storm straps just to give it real bouts and braces. Normally they tend to come with one set, and you buy an extra set additionally, so you can either do the front or you do the back. Now what you've also got as well is the fact that with the tubes, it has its own dynamic big airspeed kind of valve. What this allows is the air to get in and out very quickly, but more importantly, it has its own regulator. So it's got its own point. So on a warm day like it's today, any expansion in there will happily come out and it regulates itself, as well as offering a lifetime warranty on their tubes. Outer Rev do a really quite nice job on that, and it's quite a bold statement, to be perfectly honest with you. Tinted windows throughout the whole tent, and what we have on the front here is a really nice multi-purpose door where we can open it from left to right or right to left, and then you can always go for 1/3, 2/3, or of course fully open. Now where this differs in comparison to its sort of baby brother or sister, what you want to call it, in terms of the Airedale, the Kalahari has a full mesh door built onto the very front of it. So as we have here, what I've got is I've opened up the door partially to allow it a bit more of an entrance, but if I open this door fully up, you can see located behind it, see, don't need the guy rope, thank you, is that full mesh door we can see there. So you've got your bug barrier right at the front of the tent. Now another big improvement I like to this as well is the fact that it physically zips to the bottom of the tent. So if you want that complete ultimate seal, you know, that's where that ticks a massive box. It's not, nothing's getting underneath or getting directly through. So again, that's a really nice benefit of that. And as same with the front door, you can have it 1/3, 2/3 or fully open if you really want to. So you can really pretty much pick and choose your poison. In the front section, they've also changed the ground sheets to again bring it more incorporated in to make it feel a part of the tent. So we've got this overlap system which works really quite nicely, so it feels like a sewing ground sheet, but you have the versatility and flexibility of a non-sewing ground sheet. So it velcros up and it can be removed. So you have that nice overlap, so it feels quite nice and snug. And naturally, of course, with the extra sort of points and the nice diameter of the tubes, it feels really nice and sturdy and structurally strong. Tell you what I'll do, let's kind of wander inside and talk through a load more features that the Kalahari has to offer. So now inside the tent, you can probably appreciate the sort of the sheer width you've got in here. And what I've done is I've put the divider up into kind of the main living area to really sort of focus on what sort of space you've got in the main sort of front awning. So you've got about a 450 depth width, so it's really quite nice and wide, and there's a good sort of height to it as well. Me being about 6'2", can stand up pretty much in niche underneath the corners here, not quite towards the end, but certainly when you've got lower things like furniture, it should quite nice and neatly go from there. For me, what I do like the fact that is you've got a really nice ventilation point on this right hand side here, so naturally it's probably going to be more your cooking entrance, so your cooking point, and then you've also got the ability when it rains to seal yourself up nice and neatly. And new for the 23 season is you can buy the 2-berth bedroom will fit in this section here, so that way you can have and sleep an extra 2 people without having to compromise on your living space. So again, you can pick and choose that little feature. We've got a side door in the front section here as well with a brow canopy pole, so even when it's raining, the water's not coming down and directly into the actual tent itself, and you can leave that front door fully zipped up really quite nice and neatly. And then also what makes a difference in comparison to the Airedale 9 version of this is you've got a mesh door on this side part here as well, so you can have the airflow in, the rain protection, and it doesn't matter if it's getting drizzly or suddenly the weather turns, you've got that sort of security that you need. You can leave that door quite happily open. I mentioned also the outside previously about the way the ground sheet works, so you've got a really nice overlap, so really from afar you wouldn't really see that, and I'll bring the camera a bit closer up a bit later on in the video. What we then have is the divisional door into the main sort of section, so we can open it, sort of have the full barrier like we have here, roll it sort of half back, so you've got a little bit of an entrance. You can extend it, of course, again, roll it a bit further, so you can then have a bit more of an open plan, or a little bit nicely with this one, open up fully, and it zips again, both top and bottom. And I'll do a bit of a rush on that. And then you can toggle it back nice and neatly to keep it all at bay. So in that front section, you had obviously mesh window for each side, and then you've also again got this full fly mesh. So not only do you have a full fly mesh on the very front, but you also have it here as well. So you've got that double barrier for the bugs, especially when you have a light on at night. They'll become flying in and want to join the party. And again, it zips along the top as well as the bottom as well. So I'll just pop that down there for the time being. And suddenly then we've got a really beautiful big open plan tent. Boisterous to say the least, and because we've got that more sealed front kind of feel, it naturally just flows, and a lot of people even buy the extension and make it, well, like a house. And we've got a range of sort of carpets and things like that. Like I said, you can buy also a lounge line to go in here if you want to. It does decrease the head height a little bit, certainly when in the corners I do notice that. And if you have a look at, say, like the newest Airedale videos we've got lounge lines in place to give you a bit more of an idea about that. Big mesh door located on this side, so really for me, if you're coming and going from the tent, this side is where you want to be. So again, you can have furniture and things like that, bring that door panel back a little bit and create a little bit of dead space there, depending on how you want to do it. You've also throughout the tent got zip up curtains as well. So the joys this being, we'll use this one as an example, you can almost go halfway up or as high up as you want to go, so you get a little bit of coverage, of course, get full coverage. And then in the front part of here, you've got these lovely tinted sky windows to allow light in while you still remain your privacy. Low level ventilation beneath sort of the window on both sides to allow sort of airflow throughout the tent. And of course, your hanging point for a lantern, not only in the front section on the next beam down, but this one here. And then you've got Velcro tabs leading down to your cable entry point. So on this tent, you can either use the door or preferably come down. There's little Velcro tabs I'll show you in a second, and out the sort of main section there, and there's a one in each side. From the sleeping side of things, they say it's a 7 berth. Really, if I say it's more of a true 6 for me, decided because you've got a 160, 140 and a 120 size bedrooms. Zip dividers between it all, so it does feel like it's in own independent bedrooms, and a slightly deeper depth of about 240 in there. So again, you can normally have sort of camp beds or high-rise air beds in there without having to worry about hitting the back or anything along the lines of that. Storage pockets built into the bedroom as well to try and declutter tent, put phones and torches and stuff on there, so in the middle of the night you can necessarily see where it is. And one thing it is a slight drawback for me is it's a polyester bedroom rather than a polycotton bedroom, and there's no ventilation at the point here, but I think from a setup wise it works quite nicely, and even there's a little cable entry point directly into the bedrooms as well, so you have your mains, your phones charging, your child's lifeline on charge, and go from there. A storage pod, which also comes included, stitched on. You can't sort of take it down, it's sort of integral to the tent itself. You get a wardrobe pole comes supply with it, and you can buy an additional bedroom if you really do wish to house someone extra without putting them in the front, and you can't in the main living area anymore. In fact, let's bring the camera in to give it more of an idea. Another feature that's unique to this, and it's not on any of the other kind of Airedale ranges, that the side door that you go out has mesh built onto it as well. So you can see the depth you've got into that canopy, and as we come out, it comes a really handy point to your rain door, and it's next to the other door anyway, so you can pick and choose which door you go into regardless of what the weather's doing. But really nice big oversized chunky beams. As we come into kind of the main living area, again gives you plenty of space, and we've got the little carpet down there which you can look as an optional extra. The bedroom scenario, okay, nice darker bedrooms, and because there's a slightly darker fabric on the outside, I'd say it works better and it feels a bit darker in comparison to the normal Airedale as well. Zip dividers, again, a lot more thorough attachment, little hanging points at the top there, and it all stores down into a little side pocket when you don't want to use it to keep it neat and tidy. Storage pocket look down there as well, and we've got a little zip running for the cable entry points. There's little Velcro tabs beneath the ventilation points here, which allow you to run the cables pretty much around the tent without becoming a trip hazard or hanging down. You've also got little Velcro parts here for the up and down lighters. So it's the Lumi lighters that you can basically give yourself the tent light without having to worry about sort of running electrics anywhere. And there's little tabs here which you can have an oxygen tube pockets, so additional storage pockets that can go on the tube to increase your storage without having to worry about hanging them off the bedrooms. Little kind of the side extension, you've got a little rail comes supplier standard. There's also a little entry point for electric points here. A bedroom, like I say, you can buy additionally. Separate window, which again is still zipped, and then you've got a mesh side part, so you have airflow into the tent without having to worry about the bugs and so forth coming in. It then creates a separate entrance for the person who wants to sleep in there if you want to sleep in there. But overall, really quite spacious tube, and actually, let's have a look at that. The ground sheet probably in the shade. I've got a light, so you can see probably there's a slight difference there. So you can get, so it velcros off, then you velcro it back, so you've still got kind of a bit of an overlap, all but my shadow. And as we kind of look out and come around the tent, you can probably kind of really appreciate for the size of it and the low level ventilation, even beneath the bedrooms on the side there, works really quite nicely. Nice big vent at the top, but it sits really quite nicely and well. And even that addition of that inflatable side extension, which comes out about 145, works nicely. I think it just sits. I just love polycotton or anything canvas base, because it just looks so sharp, and you haven't got to be the best at pitching it to, to get anything out of it. But that whole front on a warm day like today, with that, especially that secondary mesh, will open up and just allow you so much more airflow today. I know we've certainly benefited it personally from the 33-degree heat we've been having today, which is obviously a bit unprecedented. All in all, I think it's a really nice addition, and from an improvement in comparison to the predecessor, it sort of leaps and bounds above that. Just the finer details, it seems a lot more thought out, and I think definitely as premium tents go, which this is very much that, and certainly polycon tents go, it's kind of hard to find something that gives you the same flexibility and with that sort of side part, albeit for the price. That's one thing I will say. I think it sits really nicely. It's not necessarily a cheap purchase, but it's something that you can look at. For more information on floor diagrams, sizes, individual features, you can check the link below this video. It takes you through to our website. We have loads more information all to hand. And we've got things like package deals, optional extras, you can go for it. And then we do offer things like finances as well. So if you like the tent but necessarily don't want to pay all in one sum, that is alternatively an option for you. As well as the other videos about pitching and packing it, other little tips about, yeah, we've got a whole back catalogue of videos you can check out if you really want to. But all in all, for this particular tent, I do like it. There's a lot of talking points and a lot going on, and it has a lot of very premium features that aren't on all polycotton tents. So for me, I do think it is a bit of a winner. Like I said, have a look on what we've got on the latest deals on the go, but feel free to let me know your thoughts. It's always great to hear from you guys regarding it. We always want to hear what you think, what you feel, concerns, comments. But that is our little video review on the brand new Outdoor Revolution Kalahari 7.0 PC SE tent.